intersecting chords, all right, and intersecting secant, all right, there is, or there happens to be, a relationship between the individual parts of the chords, all right. It's not real hard to prove, but I thought it was a little strange, all right, that the product of the parts of the chord are always equal. So in this first example right here, you would just simply say A times B is equal to C times D. All right, and really it's not that difficult to figure out once you realize that if you were to just construct those triangles that are inside, all right, those triangles become similar, all right, and so they're just ratios that have been cross-multiplied for you. All right, that's all it is. It's very easy. All right, very, very simple concept. So again, the product of the parts are congruent, or are equal. All right. Now, just to show you how simple it is. All right, let's take a look at number 1. All right, if we had to write that, we would just simply write 2x is equal to 18, so x is equal to 9. All right. Product of the parts are congruent. All right, so if we're looking at number 2, we have x squared equals, now you've got to be careful in this. X squared is equal to what?
No.
2 radical 5.
Wait a minute. How are you getting 20? Yes, thank you. The radius is 10. So again, that's the only way you can kind of make mistakes if you're not careful with how they write it. Okay, so if the radius is 10, then this right here would be what? 8. All right, so then we would have x squared is equal to 2 times 18, which is 36, and so x is equal to 6. All right, yes. Oh, do you know where the 8 came from? Okay, so here we go. Just watch. Good question. Uh-oh. From here to here is 18. 10 plus 8. You with me? Right? Again, it's not always easy to see. That's why I'm glad you have a question. All right? It's the product of the parts. It's the product of the parts. Now, some of you should be able to say this too. If you draw from here to here, right? That length is 10. So now you can do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. You get the same answer. All right? That's why I say there's lots of ways to solve these sometimes. That's why if you don't remember one rule, you might be able to do another rule. Casey, what?
Can you show me the triangles on that one?
I don't know what you mean.
Tell me the x squared.
X times x.
Where's the triangle?
I'm not asked, there is no triangle. This right here and this right here are intersecting chords. Right? When you have intersecting chords, all right? You with me now, right? You sure?
What happens when you have them?
Did you hear me on number 1? What's the matter? You should ask me about number 1. Do you understand that or not?
Yes.
So now the question is, what's different between that? This might throw you for a loop, but it's just the parts, right? So just, I'm not sure. This is 2. This is how much? 18. 2 times 18 is equal to this times this. All right, here we go. 3. Help me on this. 6x equals 64. So x is equal to, I don't like 10.6. I like 32 thirds. Thank you. 32 thirds. All right, again, practice your mental math. I'm not interested in the decimals. 0.6 is not the answer. All right? Yes. 0.6 repeating is 2 thirds. All right, but again, if you progress in math, you don't use decimals. All right? Here we go. Number 4. All right, starts getting harder now.
X squared plus 7. X plus 9. X equals negative 9 or 2. X squared. I worked for that.
Here we go. So let's just practice the algebra. And again, the reason why I went ahead and wrote this out is because, again, you're going to be coming up against your standardized tests. All right, and you're expected to know this. All right, the algebra is what's the problem. All right, we've done a lot of geometry. Now we're going back trying to do square roots and quadratics. You got to pay attention. So this becomes x squared plus 7x equals 18. X squared plus 7x minus 18 equals 0. Now you can factor that to what? Because it's quadratic. X plus what? 9 and x minus 2. So can x be negative 9? No, that is called an extraneous solution. So x is equal to 2. All right? Any issues? All right, so let's see how hard 5 is. Well, that should be kind of easy, right? Everybody should be able to look at that and just say the answer is?
3.
Yeah, 3. What makes that different than the others? They're all radii. That's exactly right. Don't make it too hard. All right? Okay, here we go. Number 6. Again, this is kind of like the one we did, so you should be better now. So this is what? Well, I'm asking you for the equation.
Oh, x squared equals 224.
Now, this again, remember from here to here is what some of you guys were questioning. That's 5. All right. So x squared is equal to what? Right. So x squared is equal to 24. So 2 radical 6. Are you having trouble with 2 times 12? All right, here we go. Number 7. So now we have what? So x squared is equal to, so x is equal to the square root of 5. All right. Number 8. Again, what do we have?
X squared equals 38.
So x squared is equal to what?
16, which is
16.
X equals 4.
So x is equal to 4. Any questions or concerns? All right, here's the next lesson. All right, now we have the secant lines that are outside. All right. So again, I'm going to put up here and let you see something. All right. Now, for me, I always just tell my kids that this rule is simply the outside times the whole length is equal to the outside times the whole length. You'll see exactly what I mean in a minute. All right. This right here is considered the outside. From here to here represents the whole length. All right. From D to A represents the outside. That represents the whole length. All right. Now remember, it's the outside times the whole length. All right. That's for 2 secants. So in this case, we can just say x times y is equal to a times b. All right. right, that's when you have two secants. All right. Next. All right, the next rule is when you have a secant and a tangent. Believe it or not, it's the same exact rule. It's the outside times the whole length. But in this case, the outside is also the whole length. So we would say A times A is equal to X times Y. So A squared is equal to X times Y. All right. Now again, sometimes they're going to give you like that, and sometimes they're going to say this. If it's written like that, make sure you hear me. If it's written like that, it's going to be X times X plus Y. Does everybody see what I'm saying? Does everybody see the difference? All right. One difference is the chord. All right, the chord length. The other one is the secant length. All right, any questions? All right, so now let's just do a couple of these, then I'll leave you alone. All right, so now they've got some weird numbers, so it's going to be, you're definitely going to need your calculator. All right, so for example, number 1, it would be what?
3.3 squared.
Right, 3.3 squared is equal to
2.2x.
2.2
Plus x. No.
times 2.2 plus x. Come on, guys, you got to be real careful with that. All right, now look, we're going to practice our calculator skills right now, so please look up because I'm really trying to make this easy. All right, I'm really trying to make this easy for you. So look up so you can see what I mean. All right, I expect you just to be able to write the answer. So here we go. So on this problem right here, you're just going to type in on your calculator 3.3 squared. Come on, look up. Make sure you're hearing me. 3.3 squared divided by 2.2 minus 2.2. Now, I need to make sure everybody can see what I just said. So understand that. You're not distributing the 2.2. All right, you're dividing out the 2.2. All right, so once again, 3.3 squared divided by 2.2 minus 2.2. And then somebody tell me.
2.75.
About, is it exactly 2.75?
Yes.
All right, so x is equal to 2.75. All right, again, very nice. Calculator, let the calculator do the work. Now look, hey, I want it set up, guys. Does everybody hear me? I want you to set it up. I don't want just an answer. All right, so for number 2, somebody set up number 2. Let me hear it.
16 times 26. Wait, for the calculator?
No, I want you to tell me the equation. 16 times what?
26 equals.
No.
16x equals 460.
No. 16 times 42.
What?
Right, now remember, that's just a common mistake because on the interior, right, you're just multiplying the two parts. We're not multiplying the two parts. That's why I'm trying to tell you, kids get all the formulas all mixed up on the test. That's why I'm saying if you're not writing it down, you're going to have a hard time remembering all the rules. And guess how many formulas you can bring to the test? 0. That is correct. You're expected to have them all in your head. All right? No formula sheets. Or there's lots of formulas. That's why you're supposed to practice. So you're putting it in your head. If you just write down the answer, just doing the calculator, that's not helping you. Next week when you take the test. All right? So now I have 16 times 42 is equal to what? 18 times 18 plus x. All right? Now, practicing with the calculator. So on your calculator, how do you type it in? Okay, go.
16 times 42 divided by 18 minus.
That's the answer. Beautiful. That's exactly right. Everybody should be able to use their calculator and just write the answer. All right? For these specific problems. All right? So somebody tell me, x equals what?
19.3.
Okay, so now math, enter. How much?
58 over
58 thirds. That's how you're going to write it. Bless you. No decimals. Okay, now for question number 3. Here we go again. Let me hear it.
8 times 16.
8 times 16 is equal to
6 times 16.
good. All right. So, Cameron, tell me how to solve this on the calculator. What would I do?
8 times 16.
Yep.
No,
Yes.
6 times 6.
And then, yes. Now listen, she said something here. But now you have to remember, at some point you have to hit the equal button before you divide. Cameron, you know what I'm saying, right? If you don't, you're going to make a mistake. All right? If you do this, 8 times 16 divided by 6 minus 6 divided by 2, it's going to do the dividing before it does the subtraction. Make sure you're hearing me. All right, so on your calculator, 18 times 16 divided by 6 minus 6, then you have to hit enter, and then divided by 2. And then math, enter.
23.
I got
20.
21. Oops.
What do we got?
It's 23.
Yeah, 23 over what?
3.
3. Okay, now look, I'm not saying that's the right answer. I'm saying everybody should confirm that on your calculator you're not doing the right thing. If you made a mistake and you got 21, for example, you just made a mistake somewhere. You've got to mentally correct that mistake. All right? And if you're not getting 23 thirds, you can let me know, because that might not be the right answer.
I got that.
Got it.
Shh.
When I do 21, math, enter, it just shows 21.
Because 21's not the right answer. You're telling it to the calculator to write 21 as a fraction. So now get back and fix it. Hey, come on. Doesn't matter. Fix it right now with your calculator. Type it in correctly and get the right answer. Don't just write down 23 thirds. Did you get it? Come on. What?
I do.
Look, first of all, I'm not sure sometimes you're hearing me. What am I? Tell me how to do this on the
You
calculator.
do 8 times 16. Then you do times 6 minus 6.
No.
Where's the divide?
Why is it divided? Come on.
Because you're reversing it.
That's exactly right. That's 6 times that. So to undo the multiplication, we divide.
Oh,
And then convert it to a fraction and make sure you're getting 23 thirds. See, that's the problem some of you are having. If you make a mistake, you don't bother correcting your mistake. All right? That's why you're doing the problems, to make your mistakes and then correct them. All right? You're good now, right? All right, come on. I don't know what those earbuds are out for. Get rid of them. All right, here we go. Number 4. What do I have here? Somebody tell me.
13 squared.
13 squared is equal to,
9 times 9 plus 45. Oops, never mind.
is that right?
Yeah.
13 squared is equal to 9, parentheses, 9 plus 5x. Say it again. Somebody says 88 over 45. Okay, 88 over 45. That's what I'm saying. Again, if it's not correct on your calculator, please fix it and have the guts to say, hey, man, I'm not sure where I'm making my mistake.
I'm not sure why.
Okay, so let's go. Did you write this out?
Yes, sir.
All right, so come on, same thing. 13 squared divided by 9
minus 9.
minus 9. You have to hit the equal button.
Okay.
Then you have to divide by 5.
Oh, I think I accidentally
Right?
divided
Doesn't
by
matter,
2
doesn't
because
matter.
I
It's
was
okay
thinking of
as long as you
the
got the right answer now.
other.
Hey,
Yeah.
anybody have any issues with that? All right, so here we go. Let's take a look at number 5 again. All right. So I've got, go ahead, somebody.
6 times 6 plus 4x is equal to 6 times 6 plus x.
Okay, so this one's kind of nice, right? Because what can happen to the two sixes?
Cancel out.
Right. So we can mental math that down to what? I think x equals 1.
Yeah. Couldn't, like, with
Yes.
the outside, just say you can just do 4.
That's exactly what we're just going to say. Thank you. X is equal to 1. These are the same, correct?
Yes, sir.
Right? So these have to be what? The same. Yes, sir.
How do you get x plus 9?
Are you having trouble with 6 plus 3?
No.
You got it? Right? This 3 and this 6. All right, let's take a look at question number 6. All right, someone else read me. Tell me what it is. Wait a minute. 2 times 10. Outside. 8 times 10 is equal to what? Come on, guys. X times x plus 11. Alrighty. So here we go. So now 80 is equal to x squared plus 11x. So x squared plus 11x minus 80 equals 0. Are there any factors of 80 that make 11? Yes. 16 and 5. Thank you very much. So here we go. So x, 16, 5. I want it to be positive 11, so the plus, minus, remember, just for practice, smiley face, just to make sure you guys remember all that factoring. Huge component, all right, of all standardized tests, factoring. So now we have x equals 5 or x equals negative 16, but we already said obviously distance can't be negative right now. Okay. That's correct. Later you'll know. Different. Yes. Okay, so you ready? Outside is 8 times the whole length. You with me on that? And that's the tricky part. Like I said, on all the rules. Just little annoying rules. All right? Okay, so listen, I do want you guys to do these two worksheets right here, just for the practice. Should be pretty easy. And then this one down here is an interesting problem. I want you to try to figure that out also. All right, I want you to try to figure that out. All right, I don't care about these extra problems down here because I've got some more word problems coming tomorrow. You're going to really enjoy. All right, does anybody have any questions with the rules? Again, I really want you to use your calculator. I want you to, if you get a quadratic, I want you to factor it. I want to also put this up here real quick, guys. Look up. Just in case it doesn't factor, you had to use the quadratic formula. And I'm sure some of you, I know all of you remember it from last year. All right, but that's the quadratic formula. And remember what it goes to. It goes to ax squared plus bx plus c. That's what you do if you can't factor. If all else fails and you forgot the quadratic formula, I want to remind you how you can type it into y1 and find the x-intercepts. That's the other technique. Does everybody remember that? All right, the x-intercept is the 0. All right, so you can graph the quadratic and find where the quadratic crosses the x-axis, and that will be your solution also. As a matter of fact, let's just do that real quick. Please, let's go back up here. I want everybody to type in this right here, just so you understand what I'm saying. Everybody type in under y1, Stay with me. Under Y1, please. It's a good review. A good review for solving equations. Everybody go to type in under Y1. I want everybody to type in x squared plus 11x minus 80. All right, does everybody have that in? Now, if you graph it, now, the thing I want everybody to do is go to Zoom. Does everybody remember Zoom standard? You hit Zoom 6, that automatically changes your screen to 10 by 10. Everybody with me? All right. Now, when you hit graph now, you don't really see much. Does everybody agree? Right? Because remember, the parabola is outside the graph. So what I want everybody to remember now, come on, I hope you're listening. I hope you're doing this. Go to Zoom Fit. Go down to Zoom Fit. What that does is that changes the window so it fits the Y values. And now you should be able to see it better. Does everybody see that? Now, listen to me. One other thing. Do you see the negative solution? Do you see negative 16? No, because it only goes to negative 10. So now I need everybody to go to Window and change the negative 10 for X-Men to negative 20. Change that to negative 20, and then hit Graph, and now you have the parabola on the screen. Everybody see that?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Now, again, we are interested in the solutions. One more thing. Hopefully this is bringing back good memories.
Yep.
All right? We want the zeros, is what they're called. So now I want you to remember this. Secant, calc, and calc is under the trace. We're interested in the 0, which is number 2. Now, you're going to move your cursor, remember, to the left of the answer. Then you're going to move your cursor to the right of the answer. And then it's going to tell you to guess. You can hit enter. And then, because we don't care about guessing, and then it'll spit out the answers for you. Everybody with me on that? All right, that's a good technique if you forget. On a lot of standardized tests, you're allowed to use a calculator. So if you forget, you can. All right, so let's do it again. Secant, calc, 0. We want this 0 right here. So hit enter once. Just hit enter. Left first, it tells you. Then scroll to the right until you get to the right of the 0. Now you're to the right, hit enter. Hit enter because we don't care about guessing. There it is.
Oh.
X equals 4.
Yes, and it'll tell you what the answer is. All right, if you're having trouble with your calculator, you don't remember something, please let me know. All right, does everybody understand their directions? I want you to do the next 2 worksheets. You're allowed to use a calculator, so it should help you out tremendously. However, I want you to write the equation. You have to write the equation. After you write the equation, you tell me x equals if you don't have to do any factoring. If it's just calculator work, just do that. All right, anybody have any questions?
Yes.
All right, I'm pretty happy with that.